Well, good morning, Taurus. How are you today? My name is Cheryl Lynn, and I'm not in the middle. And I'm here to do your weekly reading. This one's going to be for April the 14th through the 17th, which I believe to be Monday through Thursday. I will be back on Wednesday with bonus weekend readings, and I'll get you through your weekend then. That's pretty much the whole deal. We're just going to pull cards and see what we got. I have gone back to an old spread I used to do versus the Celtic Cross this week. It was just something different for me, really. So that's up. Okay. All right, Virgos. Not Virgos. This is Taurus. All right, Taurus. Let's see what we got. This is for my Tauruses. Okay. We're starting with the Nine of Cups. Right there. Okay. To the Queen of Swords. To the Hierophant. Okay, that's your recent past or backstory. Currently, I have you with the Ace of Cups. To the Devil. To the Five of Cups. In the near future, I'm looking at the Temperance card, the Lovers, and the Four of Pentacles. Okay, the bottom of the deck for this one is actually Judgment. So the undercurrent to this entire reading, or the fiber that's holding it all together, bringing it all together, is something to do with you calling judgment or judgment being called on you. Okay? The card at the center of your read, so if this was tic-tac-toe, it would be the center spot. So from almost every direction it plays into the equation is the Devil. And in this situation, the Devil to me is definitely feeling like a sense of insecurity for some reason. Like a sense of lack or insecurity. But we will see how it plays in. Okay, so let's start with the beginning, which is the past. We'll see how that goes, okay? So we're starting with the Nine of Cups, the Queen of Swords, and the Hierophant. So the Hierophant speaks either of a higher level of commitment, or to me it speaks of like preconceived notions or self-limiting beliefs, things that you are basically taught to believe, okay? Not things you necessarily came up with on your own, but this is things that, you know, your family taught you as you were growing up. So they're like ingrained in you. With the Queen of Swords, we're speaking about somebody who is tired of the bullshit, is what it is. Somebody who's been lied to or deceived, somebody who's oftentimes upset with that, right? They're trying to live their life with honesty and integrity and are having a hard time because others don't do the same. They have their sword drawn because they're giving somebody an opportunity to tell them the truth. Okay, tell me the truth. Intuitively, they already know the truth, but they want to hear it from the person, okay? And if the person can't provide the truth, or if they try to tell them a lie, then in the story, they cut off their head because they're tired of it. It's just somebody that's been pushed a little too far, okay? You know, there's just been a couple too many white lies or just a little bit too much deception, and they're like at the brink, okay? So that's the Queen of Swords. And then we have the Nine of Cups, which is speaking of your wish fulfillment, especially in an emotional sense, okay? So what this tells me, I believe, is this is somebody who you believed could be your wish fulfillment, okay? This is the direction you went off in here. But the Hierophant, I think that it managed to get itself to a higher level of commitment, if not a marriage, possibly for some of you. And then it came tumbling down, right? And it didn't come tumbling down because of one thing that happened and suddenly it exploded. This is something where somebody chipped away at it a little bit at a time, is what I'm getting with this Queen of Swords. So this has happened over an extended amount of time. It seems like somebody just, they did this and that messed with you and this and that messed with you, but it built up to be something that finally there was a straw that broke the camel's back in this situation, okay? So these three cards right here, we couldn't change them if we wanted to. This is something that's already happened. So it's your backstory or your recent past. But however it affected you and however it played out is what's affecting the rest of this reading, okay? All right, so here we go. Now we're in the current. Currently, I have you with the Ace of Cups, the Devil, and the Five of Cups. So Five of Cups is speaking about a sense of loss and regret, okay? The Devil is the Devil, but in this case, I feel like it really is based in some sort of a sense of lack or insecurity. The Ace of Cups is all about a cup that you have right now that's full of love that you're not sure exactly where to put it, I feel like. I feel like your wish fulfillment in some respects has not changed from what it was in the recent past or your backstory. I don't know that you still have the same wish fulfillment towards the same person. So possibly you're not sure if you can continue to invest in the situation you had over things that have happened, okay, getting pushed to this Queen of Swords. But I feel like you still have all this love inside of you, so you're trying to figure out where then to put it. I do feel like the situation from your past has rendered you, like I said, somewhat insecure or feeling as though there's a sense of lack. And you're quite regretful and you feel a huge sense of loss when it comes to the commitment that was lost here. I didn't mean to say that was lost here. I was going to say that it had been, had problems, but I guess maybe it is lost. I'm not sure. We'll see. if it is over and lost, it's on your part, and it's because you cannot, you reached your point. You reached everybody has a breaking point. For some of us, it's huge. And this is Taurus. I mean, for Taurus, you guys have a huge sense of loyalty. So for you to get there takes a lot, okay? But you still have a point. And this person pushed you beyond that point, it looks like. All right, let's keep going. Here we go. So in the near future, I've got Temperance, the Lovers, and the Four of Pentacles. Temperance is all about a sense of healing, a sense of balance, you know what I'm saying? Patience. So it's falling out under the wish fulfillment, the cup of love you're not sure where to put, and then you have this deal where it's all about you need healing and patience and balance, right? So that it all kind of falls in line. The Queen of Swords goes to the Devil, and then the Lovers. The Lovers sounds greatly romantic. It's really, it can be, but for the most part, it has more to do with like confusion in love, or somebody that needs to make a decision in love, or possibly not being chosen in love. You know what I'm saying? Is how I'm seeing this one, because that's where the insecurities have come from. It feels like. And the last one, we have this higher level of commitment, which went into regret and loss. And now I've got you at the Four of Pentacles on the bottom, where you're trying desperately to hang on to it, okay? Out of habit, I feel like. You know? If this has been the other part of your dynamic for however many years or however long it's been, it's almost like you don't know how to carry on without this person, kind of. You know, it's how it starts to feel. So it's more like a habit than it is a genuine emotion. But still, it's very difficult. Okay, so I do feel like it's you calling judgment on somebody else. Let's go there. Then I've got the Knight of Pentacles and the Death card. So with the Knight of Pentacles, this is about somebody constantly thinking about the situation. They're trying to think of ways to fix it. Think of what they could have done or should have done. Think of how to rearrange things, or think of what they want to do. However, there's very little action being put behind the thoughts, okay? This is somebody that's grown, somebody or a situation, I think it's both in this case, that's grown very stagnant, okay? There's not really any forward motion. There's no forward motion out of a sense of fear here. And maybe just a sense of pain. It's a lot of woulda, coulda, shoulda, but just not a lot of movement, okay? With the Death card, if there was to be one thing that comes out of this situation, because this looks quite painful and not like something anybody wants to go through, but there's always good somewhere in every situation. And if there was to be something good that comes out of this, it's going to be the transformation that you are embarking on. Okay? And there is a transformation, it looks like, taking place. And I do believe you're allowing it to take place, which is a good thing. I guess we want that card. What's that one? Who did we get? So the Eight of Wands would speak of some kind of communication coming towards you. Two of Cups and the Chariot. The communication that's coming towards you is coming towards you to try to bring you some sense of closure so that you can move forward. Because you're still trying to hang on for some reason back here. Like I said, out of habit, I think. But you're holding up your progress by doing so. All right, that's what I got to see. Sorry. What else we got for Taurus? Okay, what do I got here? I've got the Wheel of Fortune, the Four of Cups, and then the Seven of Wands. I mean, you're incredibly defensive towards everything. Who wouldn't be? Hello? I'm just kidding. With the Four of Cups, you're very dissatisfied with how this whole thing played out. But with the Wheel of Fortune over here, it's talking about the fact that in the end, this is all part of a much bigger plan. You know what I'm saying? Maybe this wasn't the intended route, okay? Maybe somebody had free will and made a wrong decision somewhere. That's possible. But it is the route you're on now. So it's still part of a bigger plan. There's something larger at play here. You know what I'm saying? This will just be a stepping stone to someplace else you need to be. It might be a big bolder one, but it's still just a stepping stone to someplace else you need to go to. I doubt that helps right this minute, but maybe you'll hold on to those words and someday in the future they'll help you some, because I know this is painful and I'm sorry. I really am. But you're perpetuating it to take longer to get through the healing by trying to hang on. It takes a lot to piss you off enough to be done, but when you're done, and you know that. It turns you into somebody who, instead of being loyal to this person, is going to be loyal to the decision. So, okay. I sure hope that helps. I'm sorry. I'm sorry it wasn't all rainbows and butterflies, but I think it's heading that direction. Okay, you got to get through this to get there. Okay? All right, Taurus, take care. See you in a few days.